Welcome to Global Tax Talks Tax in 60 Seconds. I'm Will Morris. Last week, 60 Seconds took a break for the July 4th holiday in the US. So since our last episode, there has been a lot of news. In fact, so much news that we're doing a GTT special with myself and Pat Brown, PwC's Washington National Tax co-leader, being interviewed by Sindhu Blume. However, in case 20 minutes feels too long, here's the 60 seconds version. First, the One Big Beautiful Bill did pass narrowly in both houses of Congress, and President Trump signed it into law on July the 4th. In the end, the implications for non-US businesses were much less significant than we originally thought that they might be. Section 899, the retaliatory or revenge legislation, was withdrawn following the G7 agreement, and some of the previously significant increases in, for example, the Base Erosion Anti-Abuse Tax, or BEAT, were also significantly dialed back. Second, after the last episode was filmed, the G7 agreement on coexistence with Pillar 2 was published. The agreement states very clearly that US parented groups will be excluded from the UTPR and the IIR for both domestic and foreign profits. However, other points in the agreement introduce complexity. There's a commitment to prevent the creation of an unlevel playing field and/or base erosion and profit shifting, which could mean more anti-avoidance legislation. Additionally, there's a promise to simplify Pillar 2 administration and compliance, though this will clearly take time. And lastly, the agreement mentions potential changes to the treatment of substance-based non-refundable tax credits, which could be challenging due to differing opinions among countries, another reason for delay. So successful implementation will require significant efforts and attention. Third, on the eve of the first collection date, Canada recently announced a withdrawal of its digital services taxes, or DST. While this will require further legislative action, it does seem to be a signal that as part of wider trade deals, DSTs could be on the table. And finally, at the start of last week, following the passage of the OBBB, tariffs took center stage again. While in several cases the effective dates for these tariffs have been pushed back to August 1 from July 9, some of the new tariff rates are trending quite high. Also, there is a focus on transshipments, or put differently, routing goods through a third country to avoid applications of the US's China tariffs, which adds more complexity. As of the time of filming, more letters are being sent out by the White House. Also, there's no word currently on a US-EU trade deal, although there have been a number of ominous noises. Hopefully, nevertheless, that will happen. Anyway, please do watch the longer episode if you're interested in learning a little bit more about any of these, and please do come back next week to 60 Seconds so that you stay global tax ready.